Good morning. This video today is going to be a bit of a twofer. First, we're going to talk about inks and what I use. And then we're going to make some faux leather paper with that ink. So, let's get started. And the reason I'm doing this ink quote unquote video is because someone in one of my groups yesterday asked what they could use besides ink on their papers to aid them, edging and that sort of thing. And so I thought I would share what I do. I originally had purchased this brown ink pad that you see in front of us, and had used that. And then I used it all up. It was a cheap one, I'll be honest with you. And I also dabble in acrylics. And so I had this acrylic paint that I thought would make a good way to age my projects. And so I tried it. I think this one might have come from like Top Shelf, but it also might have come from Michael's. I'm not really sure. But anyway, as you can see on here, the color is burnt umber, and that's really the important part. The brand and all of that is not the important part. All acrylic paints have the same consistency and that sort of thing. So buying a tube of acrylic burnt umber will get you to the same place that I am. So what I do, I've already done this morning, so it could be ready for our faux leather paper. But I just take a couple of dabs, literally, on my ink pad. Okay, just what comes out of the tube naturally. Okay, across the ink pad. Then I spray it. I have one of these little spray bottles from the dollar store. Spray it with water, because that's what you normally mix acrylics with, to paint with them. And then I dab a little bit around on my ink pad. And as you can see, I've got this paper towel here that I've used before. And then what I do is just kind of dab on that paper towel to make sure that I don't have too much ink or too much paint or too much water on my dabber. And then I use it to age my scrapbook paper. I've got a piece of dyed paper here that I'll demonstrate for you. The same process that you do with other pieces of paper. You just go around the edge, and in this you can also add water to your dabber, and that helps the process a little bit. Dab this over here on my paper towel, and then you really get that inked aged look that way. Okay, so and I did this out of necessity because I wasn't going to go to the store for nothing but a brown ink pad, and I really like it. And that tube of paint, I had used a bunch out of it before, and it's still going strong. So you can do this with any color. Burnt umber just happens to work for me in my projects. So little tip. Okay, so now let's move into making our faux leather paper. And that's what it looks like. What you're going to need is a piece of a brown paper bag. This is a regular brown paper bag, like you get at Aldi or wherever. You can use whatever kind of brown paper bag you happen to have. This is what I have. What we're going to do, you're going to need a brown paper bag and you're going to need your ink. I also use black ink. This is black ink pad from my choice that I've had forever. Just to kind of give it some depth. So I'm going to use brown and I'm going to use black. And I'm going to use this brown piece of paper bag. First thing you want to do is you want to rough it up. Really crinkle it up really well. And the crinklier, the more you do this part, the more real your faux leather paper is going to. Okay. There. Okay. Really get it crunchy. And then you're going to take your brown ink and just run over it. It really hits and highlights those crinkles and gives your paper, your faux leather paper, some character. It in certain places a little heavier. Really hit those. Okay. Then I'm going to take my black ink and I'm going to do the same thing. This is not a very wet ink pad, so down, whatever way that it's really going to hit those wrinkles. Let's see. Leather has variations and different colors and all the things. Okay, and so that is the process. And we're going to let that dry. Doesn't that look like faux leather? Here's a piece that I did last night that's completely dry now. And you can go back once it completely dries, like overnight, and you want to add some more depth and definition to it. You can go back over it and do that. And then I'm going to show you. This is my latest journal after Natasha's layered journal style. Here is an envelope that I made using that faux leather technique. And I really like the way it came out. So much so that I put it in my journal. So, and I used it as an envelope. There are things, receipts and things in there. And then there are tickets and a pull out there to journal on. The other side of that. Leave that out so I can do that. So it's a pocket and an envelope. and I really enjoy that process. I made that piece of faux leather last night for another page in my journal. I'm gonna put that in here and work with that. So there you have it. A twofer video this morning on how to use acrylic paints for your inking, and right over this. I'll do this on the mic while I'm talking to you guys. And how to make faux leather paper. I hope that you will use these techniques, or maybe, you know, this ink will help you out when you're in a bind and you're in the middle of a project and your ink pad is not cooperating with you, or you want to maybe do a different color than the ink pads that you have. Acrylic paint really works for this. This is what I've used in all of my recent journals, and I'm not having any issues with it. It dries quickly. It stays on the paper. I don't use vellum or anything like that, but I do use all kinds of different scrapbook paper, and that brown paper bag was really fun. So it works on those kind of things. So thank y'all very much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day, and let me know if you try these things and how it works for you. Thanks again.